Jai Baba.
Avatar Meher.
Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
So I'd like to kick off our part 2 of the You Alone Exist conversation. I think that there's a few different aspects planned that Roshani's got up her sleeve. Sorry, I'm just distracted by that. Okay. So I think that first you're going to start with a mime. Is that correct? A dance mime based on the prayer. So I'm excited to see this. Over to you.
Okay. Jai Baba. Thank you, Angela, for kickstarting the session. So I will be playing the audio and my offering to Baba for this little mime dance. Not so little because the song is 23 minutes. So please bear. But I'm sure you will enjoy because these are words given by Baba. And we offer it in silence through this mime dance back to Baba. Please tell me if you can hear the sound.
No, not yet.
Okay. I'll just share sound.
So yeah, under share screen, it's going to be the advanced tab to share
Yes.
audio only.
Yes, I have done share sound. So I'll do that again.
I don't see the little icon showing that you are.
Now I'm not sharing the screen, I'm just sharing the sound. So
Now there's a
just
share screen.
Oh, priceless treasure of...
So was the sound coming now?
Yes, the sound and the image.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay, so the image should not be there. I want only the sound to come.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that it's under advanced. You need to stop the share and start a new one.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Yep.
You go to
Okay,
share
done.
screen, and the middle one
Yes.
is advanced, and then share computer
Yes.
audio only.
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, that's good. You've got it now.
Yeah. Okay.
Just rewind if you would.
Thank you for that.
Oh, priceless treasure of knowledge. You are within and without, and you are the ocean of mercy. You are in all the worlds. You are the ocean of attributes. O Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist. You are Yazdan, you are Rizad, you are Allah and Ishwar. You are Ram and you are Buddha. You are beloved Lord Krishna, who with one finger lifted the mountain. You alone exist. You are the beyond God, and the beyond God also. Ocean of kindness, you alone exist. You are Mohammed, you are perfection personified. You are knowledge itself, and you alone exist. You live in everyone, and you are everyone. Oh beloved, you are the enlightened one. You alone exist. You are with attributes and without attributes. You are the sole player in the divine game. You alone exist. You are matchless, the only one. You reside in every heart, and you alone exist. You are eternally motionless, and immovable is your abode. You are the highest, for you alone exist. You are the doer, the deed, and the cause of doing. The sustainer you are, and the master of masters. You alone exist. You are the seeker, the worship, and the sadhana. Oh, Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist. You are in front and behind. You are above and below. Oh Lord, you live in every house, and you alone exist. You are beyond, yet you remain within everyone. You are all pervading, and you alone exist. You are in each neighborhood. You are the sustainer. You yourself are all worlds. You alone exist. Everywhere, whether above or below, you are complete. You alone exist. You are unseen, yet seen also. You live in everyone, forgiving each his sins. You alone exist. There's no one without you. You are manifest and unmanifest, as you alone exist. You are man, you are birds, you are fish and animals, for you alone exist. You are bugs and gnats, you are snakes and scorpions, you are ants and mosquitoes, you alone exist. You are insects, you are lice, you are dogs, asses and pigs. You alone exist. You are deer and elephants. You are cats and monkeys. You alone exist. You are the moon and the stars, the dawn and the night, and the sun and also the light. You alone exist. You are wind and water, and the animals of the water. You alone exist. You are silver and gold. You are copper and iron. You are brass and stone. You alone exist. You are tea and coffee, and the sugar also. You alone exist. You are paper and the book. You are the school and the office. You alone exist. You are pen and ink, and you are the gifted writer. You alone exist. You are the door and the window. You are the marble floor. You alone exist. You are the medicine and the disease and the doctor also. You alone exist. You are the game and the player and the spectator also. You alone exist. You are the flower and the thorn, and you are the fragrance. You alone exist. You are the singer. You are the musical instrument. You are the sweet tunes, for you alone exist. You are the prayer and the words of the prayer. You are the forces of evil and the powers of light. You alone exist. You are the soldier, the army, and the supreme general. You alone exist. You are the sailor, the ship, and the wide ocean. You alone exist. You are the storm's turbulence and the tranquil waters. You are the pearl and you are the shell. You alone exist. You are the shore, the ferryman, and the sea also. For you alone exist. You are the beggar, the giver, and the charity. You alone exist. You are the slave and the Lord. You are the beyond God. You are God. You alone exist. You are mother and father. You are master, brother, and friend. You are family and relatives. You alone exist. There's no one besides you. Eternally you are. For you alone exist. You are pran and you are heart. You are also the beloved of the heart. You alone exist. You are the beloved and the lover, and you are the nectar of love, as you alone exist. You are breath and life itself. Our minds are enthralled by your beauty, for you alone exist. You are the house, you are the inhabitants, and the bricks and furnishings. You alone exist. You are the worshiper, his worship, and the one worship, as you alone exist. You are consciousness and the way to consciousness. Oh, Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist. You are Khwaja, you are Kutu, you are Pir and Kalendar, you alone exist. You are Hafez, you are Senai, you are Dara and Alexander, you alone exist. You are Jesus Christ, you are Elohim. You are the ocean, infinite and pure. You alone exist. You are the Quran and the one who prays. You are Bali and you are the messenger. You alone exist. You are the beginning and you are the end. You are also beyond the beginning and beyond the end. You alone exist. You are infinitely beautiful and infinitely close. Oh, Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist. You are Brahma and you are Vishnu. You are the guileless Shankar. You alone exist. Thou says, O beloved Meher, you are the word and you are the letter. You alone exist. You alone exist. You alone exist. exist. You alone exist. You alone exist. You alone exist. You alone exist.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय.
Oh, Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. You're wonderful, Roshani.
Incredible, incredible.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Thank you, Baba.
Wow.
That was incredible, Roshani. I mean,
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Baba.
I mean, it really, Baba came through every pore. So it was wonderful. I mean, such total communication, you know, and even at the end, you were telling us that Baba's in each of us and everywhere. I mean, it was so really and joyful, so joyful.
Thank
So
you, Baba.
really, really beautiful. I don't know how you did it. It's just a miracle.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's amazing, Roshani. Thank you so much. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. From
Now, as we
beginning
move
to
ahead,
end, and you are cancer. Very expressive movements with your hands and arms. It's beautiful. The 23 minutes feel like 3 minutes.
he alone exists. Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
So we will do a beautiful recap of these loving words gifted by Baba, knowing that this is going to be one of the most important prayers in times to come and will be played in every household. And may every household dance to the tune of Baba's love when this prayer song is played. So I would love you all to digitally raise your hands and just randomly from all those who have raised their hands, one by one, I'll just pick up someone to read each couplet that I'm putting on the screen. So we will be 28 of us who will get a chance to read these beautiful words. And as the person reads the words, let us all soak into those words with Baba. And just knowing that Baba has gifted these words, precious words, through his silence. Every literature that Baba has given is through those 44 years of silence. And only Baba would know what he went through to gesture each and every word gifted to us today. So wonderful. We would love to see more than 28 hands. We are 33 of us, my magical Baba number. And, and let's have hands up, minus me, so as we are 32. So besides me, there are going to be 28 people to read the couplets. And we begin with Angela, Jai Meher Baba. I will turn the screen to the first couplet.
O priceless treasure of knowledge, you are within and without, and you are the ocean of mercy. You are in all the worlds, you are the ocean of attributes. O Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist.
Thank you, Angela. So let's go in line, actually. And now we have Seppi.
You are Yazdan, you are Izad, you are Allah and Ishwa, you are Ram and you are Buddha. You are beloved Lord Krishna, who with one finger lifted the mountain. You alone exist.
Betty.
You live in everyone, and you are everyone. Oh, beloved, you are the enlightened one, and you alone exist. You are with attributes and without attributes. You are the sole player in the divine game. You alone exist.
Diana.
You are matchless, the only one. You reside in every heart, and you alone exist. You are eternally motionless and immovable is your abode. You are the highest, for you alone exist.
Lenita,
You are the doer, the deed, and the cause of doing, the sustainer you are, and the master of the masters. You alone exist. You are the seeker, the worship, and the sadhana. O Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist.
Sanoba,
You are in the front and behind. You are above and below. O Lord, you live in every house, and you alone exist. You are beyond beyond, yet you remain within everyone. You are all pervading, and you alone exist.
Rosalie, 1 second. Sorry, 1 second.
You are in each neighborhood. You are the sustainer. You yourself are all worlds, and you alone exist. Everywhere, whether above or below, you are complete. You alone exist.
Sally,
You are unseen, yet seen also. You live in everyone, forgiving each his sins. You alone exist. There is no one without you. You are manifesting and unmanifest as you alone exist.
Elizabeth,
You are man. You are birds. You are fish and animals, for you alone exist. You are bugs and gnats. You are snakes and scorpions. You are ants and mosquitoes, for you alone exist.
Marvin, Marvin, please unmute.
Okay, now
Yes.
you are insects, you are lice, you are dogs, asses, and pigs. You alone exist. You are deer and elephants, you are cats and monkeys. You alone exist.
Richard,
You are the moon and the stars, the dawn and the night, and the sun and also the light. You alone exist. You are the wind and the water, and the animals of the water. You alone exist.
Diane,
You are silver and gold. You are copper and iron. You are brass and stone. You alone exist. You are tea and coffee and the sugar also. You alone exist.
we would encourage that everyone else who is not read put up their hands. We have Angela again. All right. Thank you, Angela.
You are paper and the book. You are the school and office. You alone exist. You are pen and ink, and you are the gifted writer. You alone exist.
And we have Anaita. Anaita, please unmute.
Yes, she's on mute.
You are the door and the window. You are the marble floor. You alone exist. You are the medicine and the disease and the doctor also. You alone exist.
What an apt one for Anaita to read being a doctor. Jai Baba. Alan Ray.
You're the game and the player, and the spectator also. You alone exist. You are the flower and the thorus, and you are the fragrance. You alone exist.
Seppi.
You are the singer. You are the musical instrument. You are the sweet tunes, for you alone exist. You are the prayer and the words of the prayer. You are the forces of evil and the powers of light. You alone exist.
Elizabeth.
You are the soldier and the army and the supreme general. You alone exist. You are the sailor, the ship, the wide ocean. You alone exist.
So, Sally, since she's not read.
I did go once before.
Oh, you did? Okay. All right. So you can read again since your hand
Okay,
was up, and then Marvin.
thank you. You are the storm's turbulence and the tranquil waters. You are the pearl and you are the shell. You alone exist. You are the shore, the ferryman, and the sea also. You alone exist.
Marvin.
You are the beggar, the giver, and the charity. You alone exist. You are the slave and the Lord. You are the beyond God. You are God. You alone exist.
Rosalie.
You are mother and father. You are master, brother, and friend. You are family and relatives. You alone exist. There is no one besides you. Eternally you are, for you alone exist.
Betty. Betty, you need to unmute.
You are pran, energy, and you are heart. You are also the beloved of the heart. You alone exist. You are the beloved and the lover, and you are the nectar of love, as you alone exist.
Richard.
O priceless treasure of knowledge, you are within and without, and you are the ocean of mercy. You are in all the worlds. You are the ocean of attributes. O Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist.
Rosalie.
You are the breath and life itself. Our minds are enthralled by your beauty, for you alone exist. You are the house, you are the inhabitants, and the bricks and furnishings. You alone exist.
Diana.
You are the worshiper, the worship, and the one worshipped, as you alone exist. You are consciousness and the way to consciousness. O Meher God incarnate, you alone exist.
Sanobar.
You are Khwaja, you are Qutub, you are Pir and Kalandar. You alone exist. You are Hafiz, you are Sanai, you are Dara and Alexander. You alone exist.
Rosalie.
You are Jesus Christ. You are Elahi. You are the ocean, infinite and pure. You alone exist. You are the Quran and the one who prays. You are Vali and you are the messenger. You alone exist.
Diane.
You are the beginning and you are the end. You are also beyond the beginning and beyond the end. You alone exist. You are infinitely beautiful and infinitely close. O Mare, God incarnate, you alone exist.
Dan, could you read it again because we had lost your voice in the first part?
You are the beginning and you are the end. You are also beyond the beginning and beyond the end. You alone exist. You are infinitely beautiful and infinitely close. O Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist.
Elizabeth.
You are Brahma and you are Vishnu. You are the guileless Shankar. You alone exist. Bao says, "O beloved Meher, you are the word and you are the letter. You alone exist."
Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. So I will keep this image. I'll bring it back while I read once again the original Hindi words that were given of the prayer Tum Hi To Ho. Just give me a second. I shall do best with the pronunciation. Please forgive me, Baba. बाहर भीतर, sorry, one second. Yes. बाहर भीतर ज्ञान के आगर, करुणा सागर तुम ही तो हो. सकल चराचर गुण के सागर, मेहर प्रभुवर तुम ही तो हो. तुम ही हो यजदान, तुम ही हो इज़्ज़त, अल्लाह ईश्वर तुम ही तो हो. राम तुम ही हो बुधा, 11 गिरिवर तुम ही तो हो. परब्रह्म तुम ही हो ईश्वर, दया के सागर तुम ही तो हो. तुम ही पयंबर हो पुरुषोत्तम, ज्ञान के आगर तुम ही तो हो. हर में तुम हो, हर ही में तुम हो, ज्योतित प्रियवर तुम ही तो हो. निर्गुण तुम हो, सगाओ भी, पील लाधर तुम ही तो हो. तुम ही निराले, तुम ही अकेले, सब में बसकर तुम ही तो हो. अविचल स्वामी, अविचल धामी, सबके ऊपर तुम ही तो हो. करता करक कम करम, तुम ही हो पलक गुरुवर, तुम ही तो हो। साधन सदक और साधना, मेहर प्रभुवर, तुम ही तो हो। आगे पीछे ऊपर नीचे, स्वामी घर घर, तुम ही तो हो। परे परे हो भरे भरे हो, सबके अंदर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही कबीला, तुम ही बसीला, सकल चराचर तुम ही तो हो। ऊपर नीचे जहां कहीं भी एक बराबर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही अगोचर गोचर भी हो, सब में हरिहर तुम ही तो हो। कोई नहीं है सिवा तुम्हारे, परम उजागर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो इंसान, तुम ही पक्षी, मछली जानवर तुम ही तो हो। खटमल पीसू, सांप और बिच्छू, चींटी मच्छर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो कीड़ा, तुम ही हो घोड़ा, स्वर्ण ब्रह्म कर तुम ही तो हो। हिरन तुम ही हो हाथी, बिल्ली बंदर तुम ही तो हो। चांद सितारे उषा तुम ही हो, रजनी दिनकर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हवा हो, तुम ही हो पानी, सारे जलचर तुम ही तो हो। चांदी सोना, तांबा लोहा, पीतल पत्थर तुम ही तो हो। चाय तुम ही हो कॉफी, चीनी शक्कर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो कागज किताब, तुम ही हो शाला दफ्तर तुम ही तो हो। कलम तुम ही हो सियाही, लेखक सुंदर तुम ही तो हो। द्वार तुम ही हो खिड़की, संगे मरमर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही दवा हो, तुम ही बीमारी, वैद्य घरोगर तुम ही तो हो। खेल तुम ही खिलाड़ी, दर्शक प्रभुवर तुम ही तो हो। फूल तुम ही हो, शूल तुम ही हो, खुशबू सुखर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो गायक, तुम ही हो वीणा, मधुर मधुर स्वर तुम ही तो हो। नमाज तुम हो, कलाम तुम हो, जादू मंतर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही सिपाही, तुम ही हो लश्कर, सबके अफसर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो नौका, निर्मल सागर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो किश्ती, तुम ही हो तूफान, मोतियों जोहर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो साहिल, तुम ना खुदा हो, और समंदर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही भिखारी, तुम ही हो दाता, दान मनोहर तुम ही तो हो। दास तुम ही हो स्वामी, प्रभु परात्पर तुम ही तो हो। माता पिता गुरु बंधु स्नेही, कुटुंब बिरादर तुम ही तो हो। सिवा तुम्हारे ना कोई दूजा, हमेशा अवसर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही जिगर हो, दिल भी तुम ही हो, सबके दिलवर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो प्रीतम, तुम ही हो प्रेमी, प्रेम सुधाकर तुम ही तो हो। सांस तुम ही हो जीवन, स्वामी मनहर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही मका हो, तुम ही माँ की हो, सबके अंदर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही पुजारी, तुम ही हो पूजा, सबके परवर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही चेतना, तुम ही साधना, मेहर प्रभुवर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो ख्वाजा, कुतुब तुम ही हो, पीरो कलंदर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो हफीज, तुम ही सनाई, 10 सिकंदर तुम ही तो हो। ईसा तुम ही इलाही, पाक समंदर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो कुरान, तुम ही नमाजी, वली पयंबर तुम ही तो हो। आदि तुम ही हो, अंत तुम ही हो, परे गुनाकर तुम ही तो हो। परम मनोहर परम सहोदर, मेहर प्रभुवर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो ब्रह्मा, तुम ही हो विष्णु, भोला शंकर तुम ही तो हो। भाव कहता ओ प्यारे मेहर, शब्द और अक्षर तुम ही तो हो, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. These are the beautiful Hindi words gifted by Baba. And would anybody like to share anything of the verse they read out, or any connection with the words of the English prayer largely, or if any Indians have any connection with the Hindi prayer words? Would anyone like to share anything? Okay, till then you can think. I will read the glossary part once again for everyone who was possibly not there yesterday. This prayer was first printed in its entirety as part of the introduction to the Nothing and the Everything by Bhau Kalchuri, which was his first book published in English, written under Meher Baba's direction, 1982. I'll read the Lord Meher passage again and then the remaining part of the glossary. September 1962, You Alone Exist. Bhav was translating some of the discourses into Hindi. One day Baba handed him the manuscript and gestured, I want you to translate this into Hindi and make it interesting for Hindi-speaking people. Sorry. Bhav said, if it is interesting in English, naturally it will be interesting in Hindi. Baba replied, that I don't know. I wanted to make it interesting and the language should be simple. Bhav thought over what Baba had said. It occurred to him to put the whole book in dialogue form, and he completed one discourse in this style. He read it to Baba, who was pleased and complimented him. Yes, this is what I want. Baba also suggested songs should be included and mentioned there should be a prayer too. Bhav remembered that back in 1959, Baba had given him a special couplet in Hindi. He found the couplet, made it the first couplet of the ghazal, and composed 11 more to go with it. The next evening, when he went for watch, Baba asked, did you compose the prayer? And hearing that he had, Baba asked Bhav to read it to him. Baba was pleased but stated the prayer should be longer. Baba was in a very good mood that day, and drumming his thighs with his fists in rhythm to the lines, he began composing new couplets, which Bhav wrote down. Sitting on his bed, Baba dictated 17 more couplets, and thus the poetic prayer, Tum hi to ho, God, you alone exist, came into being. In a later period, Meher Baba stated that one day this prayer would be recited by people in their homes throughout the world. About this poetic prayer, Meher Baba commented, I like this prayer because it tells people who I am, what I am. People do not know who or what I am, and so they need this prayer to know me, to understand me. I gave this prayer to them. A day will come when they will know this. In the future, this prayer of mine will be sung in every house throughout the world. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. I shall read the balance of the glossary. The word sadhana. Sadhana is a yogic spiritual practice or discipline. Refer to Meher Baba's discourses for the same. Next, the word pran. A Sanskrit word pran is the original underlying force or energy in the universe, as the original space is called akash. refer to the nothing and the everything, pages 32-34, regarding the original conflict between Pran and Akash, causing the beginning of creation or matter. Word Khwaja. Khwaja, meaning Lord, may refer to the Persian perfect master Khwaja Gizl, who is a legendary figure who discovered and drank the water of life and became immortal, and from time immemorial presides over the well of immortality. Khazir is a divine post of a perfect master who bestows realization and perfection upon a man who has no physical connection with a living master. In such instances, Khazir takes a physical form and bestows his divine grace of perfect masterhood. Two known instances when Khazir intervened was the perfecting of Francis of Assisi and Narayan Maharaj of Kedgaon. Word Kalandar. Kalandar, literally meaning free-spirited in Persian, is a Muslim ascetic or monk who gives up all possessions and wanders in the world. The word Sanai. Sanai was a Persian Sufi perfect master and renowned poet of Shiraz, Iran, author of the Hadikatul Hakikat, Garden of Truth, died 1131. Alexander refers to the Greek conqueror of Persia, Alexander the Great, king of Macedon, bracket 356 BC to 323 BC. The word wali or wali Allah. In Arabic, a wali or wali Allah means a friend of God, a fifth plane mental conscious pilgrim who is said to speak with God or hear the voice of God. In Vedanta, a man of the fifth plane is called Shiv. In Sanskrit and ancient Hindu mythology, Vali was the name of a king who was punished by God, Vishnu, in his incarnation as Vamana, the dwarf, for his excessive charity and condemned to rule over the netherworld. The name Vali was also of a monkey chieftain mentioned in the epic Ramayana. He was killed by Ram. The word Shankar. Shankar is another name for Shiva in Hindu mythology, the first man. Shankar is also the abbreviated name for the Vedic philosopher Shankaracharya, born 1788 to 1820. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. So we have some hands up. We have Marvin. Yes, Marvin, please unmute and share.
No, that was actually when we were doing the words. That's what that hand was from. The reading. Roshani, you're muted.
Sorry. Okay, I'm trying to see if our wonderful guests. Oh, yes. So we have three surprise guests for this session that we had not planned before. But Baba gives these, twings sometimes. And then I immediately get onto the mail and write to them pronto. And Baba helps that they said a yes and could spare their precious time. So first I would like to bring on Jim Mayer, who is responsible for the amazing composition, my most favorite song prayer of beloved Avatar Meher Baba. Jim, thank you so, so much for being with us and accepting this little request at the nth last minute. Thank you so much.
Jai Baba.
Please unmute. Jai Baba.
Do you want me to say something?
Yes, we would love you to share something about the composition, how it came about when you first read the words or what actually happened, and some anecdotes connected to the composition of this wonderful prayer song that you have gifted us on Baba's words. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Well, first let me say that You Alone Exist has been a song since 1963. I have no idea who wrote the original melody. I suspect it was Mani, Baba's sister, because one, she was a great musician, and two, I had heard rumors that to the effect that she had put You Alone Exist to music. But in Lord Maher, it mentions that in 1963, Meher Baba had asked his oldest nephew, Sharu, who was Behram's oldest son, to sing You Alone Exist to Mitao Ho daily. And Baba had requested that Sharu sing You Alone Exist to him at Guru Prasad. And he was very pleased with his version. I have not personally heard the original musical version. In fact, I was unaware of it when 10 or 15 years ago, looked at the original poem from when I was reading the book While the World Slept by Balkachuri, which opens with the prayer, You Alone Exist. I looked at it and I thought, what a fantastic, fantastic prayer. But of course, it would be impossible to put it to music. That was my immediate, I remember distinctly reading it thinking, I would love to put this to music, but I don't see any way that this can happen. And yet, within 20 minutes of looking at it, I pretty much had the melody for the entire song. So how does this happen? Well, first of all, if I knew how it happened, I would bottle it and I would sell it to the world, at least to Baba lovers. I have no idea how Baba does this to me and others, but I've had the rare good fortune to have it happen to me many times. So when I started to feel the melody and started to sing a melody to the words to get the rhythms correct. Let me stop by saying, when I say rhythms correct, it's very important for people to realize that Meher Baba's words, when they come directly from him and are not rewritten or rephrased, when they come directly from Baba, they are very musical, very, very rhythmic, remarkably so. In fact, words that come directly from Meher Baba through his board or gestures, or in the early days when he wrote them down, are like musical poetry. So it's very easy in a way to put them to the song form. So while I was, of course, it was originally written in Hindi. In 1959, the first couplet of You Alone Exist, Baba dictated to Bauji in Hindi. And then I assume Bao wrote his couplets, his next 11 couplets, in Hindi. And I'm assuming that Baba finished it with his last 17 couplets in Hindi. But I may be wrong about that. But probably Bauji's the one who put them to English. And anyway, within 15 or 20 minutes of looking at the poem and getting a kind of internalized push from Baba, I saw the structure of it. And if there are any musicians listening on this Zoomcast, they might be interested to know that at the time, and I'm thinking this is 15 years ago when I put it to music. And by the way, there are other musical versions of this. Sam Saunders, the late, great Australian singer, musician, choir master, he put a version of You Alone Exist out. I've heard it many times and find it terrific. So I don't take any credit for anything. I was just there. I was just an instrument. But anyway, getting back to talking to musicians, the entire song is played on the guitar and written for what they call an open D tuning on a guitar. That means, I might have a guitar here, just a second. Okay. The normal guitar tunings are from the bass E, A, D, G, B, E. But an open tuning, open D tuning, you tune it to an open chord so that when you strum it, it's already in a D chord. And that's tuning. For those of you who want to write this down, open D tuning is D from the bass, D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. And so when you play it, it's already in a chord. And if you play a regular E chord on the first fret and slide it up to the third fret, you get the first part of the introduction of You Alone Exist. Then you bar the fifth fret, you partially bar the fifth fret, you partially bar the seventh fret, and then you have the entire chord structure of You Alone Exist in my version. So it goes. Oh, priceless treasure of knowledge. See how that fits? You are within and without, and you are the ocean of mercy. And then when you go to the chorus, which means the second structure, not chorus, but what I call the chorus, the second structure, you bar on the seventh chord, partial bar, then you are yes done, and then you go back to the fifth. You are Izad, you are Allah, and Izad. And once I had that structure down, the entire poem fell into place. And in fact, I remember I was so excited about how beautifully I thought how beautifully it all had fit, that I called up Debbie Nordine and just said, listen to this. I said, I'm not going to sing the whole song for you, but here's the first 6 couplets of You Alone Exist. And I don't know if she thought I was crazy or if she was thrilled by it, but I was very excited by it. Now, the recording of, so anyway, I eventually played the song at a Baba meeting, and Peter Nordine, who's going to join us later, Peter said to me, I'd love to make a video of that. He said, but in order for us to make a video of that, we're going to have to get a good quality recording. And I happen to have a very dear friend of mine who is a master musician in the true sense of the word, a guy named Tom Dimmock, who's originally from New Jersey but lives out in the furthest part of Western North Carolina, in a trailer, in a little trailer in his room. He has an entire digital computer setup for recording, and he's completely a complete master of that system. So we do everything just he and I. So when you hear You Alone Exist, when you see the video that eventually Bob Fredericks masterfully put together with the music, all the music is being played by only 2 people. All the vocals that you hear, all the choir sounds, all the harmony sounds, I did all of that. Played guitar. I'm not sure. I might have played a couple of three different guitars. 2. I don't remember, but everything else was played by this wonderful Tom Dimmock, and a great slide guitar player, great keyboard player. Played the drums on keyboard drums, engineered it, mixed it, and so I gave the final recording, because I felt that I felt very strongly that this was a very, very powerful prayer, that needed to come out, and I felt, and I'm nobody's fool when it comes to knowing that when Meher Baba gives me an internal push to create something where I'm not capable, I'm not capable on my own of creating it, then I know he wants it done. So I gave the recording to Peter Nordine. He gave it to Robert Fredericks. They worked out. I had nothing to do with the visuals. The only thing I had specifically to do with the video, and the one thing I said was very important from my point of view, was the introduction. I wanted it white type on black background, carefully explaining how this song or how this poem came into existence. Now, I want to say something else that's very important. In the original DVD, it says that Baba said that this song will be sung in every house throughout the world. First of all, it's not necessarily the song that I wrote. That's very important to understand. I don't feel that one way or the other. That's none of my business. Secondly, that quote has been, I've seen three aspects of that quote, and each one is dramatically different. I've seen it also where Baba said, this poem will be recited in every house. Then I also saw a quote where Baba said, this song will be sung in houses across the world. So that's already been done. I mean, YouTube has had a version of this DVD in its entirety for the last, I'm going to say 6 or 8 years, and there's almost 150,000 people have viewed it. So, and I'm assuming that it has been viewed all across the world. So Baba, if the quote was correct, attributed to Baba that it would be sung in houses across the world, if it has already been done that. So I'm not sure if Baba actually said that this song will be sung in every house. I'm assuming he said that it would either be recited or sung in houses across the world. I mean, unless he's talking about 1,000 years from now or 500 years from now, and that's none of my business. I wouldn't know anyway. So what difference does it make? So if anybody has any questions about to me about this, I'd be more than happy to answer the questions.
We would all love to listen to you sing this song prayer for us, if you can.
I'm not going to sing
Just
25 minutes.
No, not the full thing. Just maybe 1 or 2 couplets.
All right. Well, I can do a slow version of it for you.
Okay, sure.
I've got the wrong pick here, but anyway, let's see what we can do. O priceless treasure of knowledge, you are within and without, and you are the ocean of mercy. You are in all the worlds. You are the ocean of attributes. O Meher God incarnate, you alone exist. You are Yezdam, you are Izad, you are Allah and Ishwar. and you are Buddha. You are beloved Lord Krishna, who with one finger lifted the mountain. You alone exist. You are the beyond God, and the beyond God also. O ocean of kindness, you alone exist. You are Mohammed, you are perfection personified. You are knowledge itself, and you alone exist. You live in everyone, and you are everyone. Oh, beloved, you are the enlightened one, and you alone exist. You are with attributes and without attributes. You are the sole player in the divine game. You alone exist. You are matchless, the only one. You reside in every heart, and you alone exist. That'll give you some idea.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you.
My pleasure. If anybody wants to ask me a
Yes.
question now,
Rosalie had her hand up. Rosalie, would you like to ask or share something?
anybody but Rosalie.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm teasing Rosalie. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, actually, I have my hand up quite a while, and one of the things I wanted to say was not to Jim, but I love when we each did a line. That was because you alone exist. It's more of a feeling, you know. It's like everyone contributing. Yeah, and but actually, Jim, when I love you singing that you alone exist, because it was not totally, obviously not a performance, and I love, you know, it was your work. Baba gave you that work, and you did it, and I just was, my heart was very touched by that when I hear it, you know. And I think your voice is perfect to sing it, you know. It's so interesting. Yeah. Anyway.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. We have Elizabeth. Yes, Elizabeth, please share.
I actually just have a question about some of the words that I don't understand. And I know we went through some glossary items, but I think you said what Khwaja is. I think I know what Pir is. What's Kalandar? Kalandar.
It's just another. These are just terms for perfect ones.
Yeah, it is another term for a Persian. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, carry on. Sorry, I was just reading.
Kalandar, I think, is Persian for a perfect one, isn't it?
No, it is meaning free spirited in Persian, and it is a term for a Muslim ascetic or monk who gives up all possessions and wanders in the world.
Well, there you go.
And then what's the Khwaja and a Pir?
So Khwaja meaning Lord. Yeah. Yes, Jim, please continue. I was reading from.
You already read from the glossary. Khwaja Khazir is a God-realized being who has a role to play, and that is when a soul is ready to be realized, but there's either no connection or physical perfect one around him to give him the final push. This soul, Khwaja Khazir, manifests in physical form and has a physical connection with the seeker who is about to be realized, and he realizes them. That's his job. And we are told that St. Francis was made a perfect master by Khwaja Khazir.
Okay. And do we have photographs? I mean,
And Narayan Maharaj as well, as stated in Lord
Narayan,
Meher.
yeah, Narayan. Yeah.
thank you.
Yes. Anyone else would like to ask anything? We are waiting. So Peter is here as well, and I would love Peter to share a little wee bit about the making of the video for this lovely prayer song. Jai Baba, Peter and Debbie. In yesterday's interview of Bhauji, if everybody who was there, we heard where Bhauji mentions that in one of the sahwas, and Debbie Nordine was called and she sang, and the whole atmosphere changed. And Bhauji emphasizes on that. So I don't know if it is the same sahwas, but would love Debbie and Peter to share a little bit and Debbie to elaborate on that. Jai Baba, Debbie.
Jai Baba, everybody. This is so exciting. I don't remember that instance, but it's nice. What can I say? Music just is such a unifying thing for all of us. Thank God Baba gave us music. So thank you, Baba. Peter's coming right now. He was just putting on a better shirt. So I did hear some of the singing, Jim. It was gorgeous. All I could say about You Alone Exist was when we heard Jim sing it the first time, it was at Elaine Miller's house at a local Baba meeting. And I don't know if he told you this already, but it just, the whole room just got lit up. And Peter said afterwards, he said he just could see pictures of Baba going in his mind and think, wow, this song is perfect for a video. So as soon as he comes down, I know he can tell you that part of the story. Jai Baba. Peter, come on.
Jai Baba, thank you so much. And is this interview, I don't know, is Bhauji talking about you singing or reciting You Alone Exist as a savas, or singing something else? So this interview of Bhauji is about You Alone Exist.
You mean what you were referring to? All I know is one time I did take You Alone Exist and made a performance piece out of it with others. Somebody had written a simple version of it. This is before Jim wrote his version of it. And we used it as part of a play at Mehrabad. So that could have been once. We've just loved the prayer all these years, and that could have been one time. And I'll just give a little aside personally. As some of you know, I've had cancer 2 times. And the prayer meant so much to me. When you think about you are the disease, you are the doctor, you are the medicine, also you alone exist. And so just that one little couplet meant so much to me in that instance. So of course you are the singer, you are the song. I love that. And here's Peter. Come on, Peter. You've got folks waiting to tell about You Alone Exist, and Jim's there too. Here he is.
Hello.
Hello, Peter.
Nice to see you all.
Can you hear us okay?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Nice shirt.
I told him.
Yeah, I have 3 or 4 of them. It took me some time to make a decision.
I'll go see you on another computer.
So Peter, would you like to share anything on You Alone Exist, what the prayer song means to you, and any experience while editing and creating the video?
Well, I'm just jumping in, so I'm sure you've already talked about how the whole thing came about. You all know that history.
No.
You don't know the history? Jim, you didn't tell them the history. Is Jim there?
Yeah, no, I told they told the history. The people are just greedy for you, Peter.
Yes. No. What I, you know, in the world family of Meher Baba, there are a lot of people who like to sing, and some can sing well, but most of it, because it happens, you know, when he comes, that inspiration of creativity happens, to wanting to express through an art form is a natural thing. A lot of people love to sing, they love music, and they begin to do that. There are skills of certain, most of them, however, are in that process of practicing through lifetimes. Some of them, rarely, you have somebody who's already gone through the process of practicing for many lifetimes, and then they have the habit of just doing it. And that's, Jim is like that. So at our, we enjoy his music whenever he's available. He's more available now than he used to be. We used to originally see him at the Mayor Center in those very early days, enjoying that. I think he went through a phase where he just got tired of performing all the time. And at one point, then he began doing it again, you know, performing more for Baba people. And we really appreciate it. So at one of these meetings here in Nashville, Jim said, "Hey, this just came to me, and this is it." So he sang his version of You Alone Exist. And as he was performing that, all these images of footage that were relevant, representational of Baba, as those relating to those various verses, were popping up in my head. And after the meeting, I said, Jim, we should really do a video of this. It would be, I think, a really nice thing. So Jim said, yeah, well, okay, let's do. He recorded this in his friend's studio. He did a nice long version. The version he did was slightly longer than we finally used in the film. So what we did was we began by, Jim wanted to do a certain thing. In the beginning of the film, you see the explanation, simply the explanation that was related to us via Bao Kalturi. And of course, most of these verses were directly from Baba, stating the simplest things. You are snake, you are ant, pig. Who would say such a thing about Baba? You are pig, but Baba wanted that. He wanted people to know the all-pervading nature of God, the all-encompassing nature of God. So there it was. And in the end, we decided, we had so much footage of dancers. We decided, let's make that long sequence at the end all about dancing. So we did that. It turned out very well. Bob Fredericks did the film editing. And we really enjoyed the project. And it turned out well. It's very popular with people. It's such a nice, people remark that it's such a nice meditation. A lot of people like to do it in the morning when they exercise, or just a way of getting up, having their breakfast. So that was essentially the story of it. That's how it came to be. It was one of those things. All I tell you is this much. Many of you will have had the same experience. When Baba wants something, it falls into place. And all through the process, you'll get signs of that, where things automatically take a sequence, and the timing is so obvious that it cannot be mistaken. The odds of the timing being so good, you know, you didn't do it yourself. It just happened. You're somehow bumbling through the process and it fell into place. You know that it's him doing it. And that was our experience. Yes. I said I chose the footage because certain things we had to generate. There were a few images we had to generate, and we decided to do it in a certain way. But a lot of it was representational. Your coffee, your tea. We have that shot of Erish giving Bob a cup of tea at the EastWest gathering. You are family and friends. We have the shot of at 65 Darshan, where Baba is greeting Pareen Mai and Shenazz, his sister-in-law and his niece. And family photograph there. We, you are lover and beloved. I think we had Muhammad
Mehra.
And then the shot of Mera with and arm in arm with Baba going into the house at Marisad. Different things like that. We did have to generate a few. We had some cute bits of footage. We had some bits of footage we used from places that people would say, this is a 1 second bit of footage. What could you ever do with it? There was a bit of footage of Baba listening to music where he does this with his arm. It's 1 second and then the footage is bad if you see the original. So what we had to do is take that bit of footage. Now, what I want to say is what makes all this work in this day and age more easily done is the digital technology. Irwin did so much of this work in the days when everything was analog and had to be very painstakingly done when he did his film project. It was a lot more laborious. Now with the digital tools that are available, everyone's a filmmaker. But you can get some decent results. So what we did was take a lot of bits of footage that people would never use for anything because there was nothing much to it. It's easy to take the best footage of Baba and do something with it, but to take those little bits and pieces of things that aren't often seen, for an example, that bit of footage of Baba doing this, what we did then is we found a loop and we could see where it could be repeated. So, and we put it in the pace of the music, set it to the rhythm of the music. And in the end, Baba is beating time to the music there for a few seconds. But it's the way we made use of just a bit, not 1 second of decent footage there. There are other bits and pieces. You have to straighten the frames. And now they have very beautiful processes to digitally improve film footage, Blu-ray and such. We don't do that, but we had some basic tools that we could use to stabilize footage and do different things that were not available in the old days that made it much easier to improve. In the future, it'll be improved a lot more, I'm sure.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Peter. Elizabeth had some questions. She wants to know, how did you create the insects, scorpions, and snakes?
Yes. Well, we took those wherever Bob and I did this. I think we were in Chicago when we did that. I visited him there, and you know, like you are fish and animals of the sea. We lifted that from a movie, and it's only a few seconds, so it's not like we needed copyright for 2 seconds of footage. But we had that bit of footage where Baba turns his head, and at one side you could see we put the jumping whale, the humpback whale out of the movie. Maybe it was Moby Dick, and it looks like Baba's looking. The whale is jumping into Baba's aura or something. Yeah, it's little things like that. And we did one bit of filming at Mehrabad to do a special effect where Baba is in Guru Prasad. He's standing there, the statue, but you are marble in the something. And what do you do with that? There's a statue, Baba's standing there, and it looked like the horn of plenty pouring out at Baba's feet. That was a special effect. Some little things. It was playful. The fish jumping. We had that one bit of footage of Baba feeding the fish in Jabalpur with his hand like this, and we just put the jumping fish in there. It was just a little something. Just playful. It's meant to be playful. We had Baba with the pets, that bits of it. With his dog Mustan and with Pegu the cat. Those were good bits of footage.
Thank you so much. That's so wonderful. And it's so precious to know of all these stories of how this beautiful work of Baba comes along and how Baba works through each one to get his work done, what he wants.
Well, I've never spent so much time talking about the project as today, but if you want it, that is it. Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It was precious for all of us, I think, to know from you, Jim. And thank you, Jim, once again for singing for us as well. So would anybody like to ask anything as a last closing question or sharing to Peter or Jim before we move on to our next very important special on the significance of the interment day, which is today, 7th February. Okay. So I guess there is nothing. So I once again thank everyone. It was a beautiful sharing. Thank you for reading each of the couplets. That was simply Baba-ful, I would say. And so much of Baba love while we read all together, each one. And thanking everyone to be there. And thank you, Baba, for making it all happen. Thank you for this technology, for bringing us together in his love more and more each day. So since